Welcome to the club, we're on this journey together. Find your inner glow, we'll be glowing forever. Welcome to the club, we're on this journey together. Find your inner glow, we'll be glowing forever.
Have you ever felt stuck? Like your business is more of a rather than a OMG? Well, get ready to ditch the frustration and ignite your potential. Today, I am thrilled to introduce to you Heidi Meckley, a certified accountability coach, published author, and an all-around powerhouse. Heidi's not your typical coach. She's a warrior who specializes in helping ambitious women like you crack the self-doubt code and unlock explosive growth in both business and life. Her book, The Time Is Now, and the choice is yours. Are you going to take it? It's a testament to her dedication to empowering women to take action. The Meckley method is built for go-getters who crave laser focus and explosive action. Heidi cuts through the noise and keeps you fiercely accountable as you shatter limitations and unearth your inner warrior. But Heidi's journey wasn't always easy. Battling post-concussion syndrome, she clawed her way back with unwavering grit. This experience not only made her story inspiring, but also forged her into an even more powerful guide. Heidi is living proof that you cannot just recover, but rise stronger than ever. So, are you a woman entrepreneur drowning in inconsistency and paralyzed by analysis? Heidi's your lifeline. Her method, built on the power of small steps leading to giant leaps, will propel you towards unimaginable abundance. Please join me in welcoming Heidi Meckley.
Hello, everybody, and thank you so much, Ketcha, for having me. I greatly appreciate it, and I am so looking forward to this chat.
Yes, me as well, Heidi. Heidi, can you share a pivotal moment in your life when you realized that the importance of maintaining a positive mindset?
And for me, actually, in reflection of looking over my life, it actually happened when I was really young, because I have quite the story of my past about things that I had to grow up with, as we all have our stories, right? But being young with my parents constantly fighting and all the things, I said, okay, and hearing everybody around me complaining about things, I'm like, I have a choice. I can either be like them and complain, or I can be who I want to be, the happy-go-lucky person that I know I am. And I have always chose me regardless of what was going on around me. And that has been absolutely life-changing throughout the entire process of everything I've been through. Without it, I would not have made some of the things.
Wow. That's amazing to hear. Heidi, what strategies or practices do you employ daily to nurture and strengthen your positive outlook on life?
I truly believe that self-care is like the number one thing that everybody doesn't do enough of, and really needs to understand how important this is. I used to think it was silly and all the things just like everybody else, until I actually started doing it, and it made a world of difference. Self-care it could be as simple as, for me, sometimes it's just grabbing a cup of coffee, sitting at the end of my kitchen table, and looking out at my patio to the squirrels I feed. And it's kind of like a meditation, because you're with yourself, it's quiet, nothing else is going on, you're just letting everything sit. Or it could be taking a walk, it could be taking just short times for you, so that you can reflect on everything that you're currently doing and understand, am I doing the right thing? Am I feeling okay with what's going on? Or do I need to change something? Because if you're not taking in and really honing in on the fact that you need to check yourself basically daily, am I where I want to be? Am I doing what I know I should be doing? And if not, okay, today didn't go so well. So what do I need to change so tomorrow's better? Because we always just want to be better than we were yesterday. And by having that self-care and the meditation and learning to be excited about your day. If you're not excited about your day to get up out of bed, something has to change. You're not doing what you need to be doing. You're not leading into what you were given by God or universe, or however you want to say it, for those desires on your heart. And when you go after those, it gives you that positivity that you need. And remember that you have the right to write your story in your subconscious. Don't let other people tell you you can't do something when it was given to you, your dreams and hopes, not to them. Your positivity is 100% on you. It's your choice. It's up to you to make that change within yourself. And everybody on this planet has the power to do it themselves.
You know what? I actually agree because I had to learn the hard way when it came to self-care. Honestly, I felt like I just kept pouring into other people and then it was draining me. A lot of people say that self-care is selfish, but I don't think so, because I feel like if you can't pour into a cup if you're empty, like you're drained, you can't help anybody else. So you have to make the time for yourself, whether, like you said, is going on for a walk, drinking a cup of coffee, being an adult. I feel like in adult life we're just so busy, 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 busy. We never take out the time to really sit down and say, you know what, maybe I should take a 10-minute break and just care for myself. And I learned that, like I said, I learned that the hard way. I definitely agree with you in terms of self-care, and most people should do it more often. But again, a lot of people have the mindset where they say, it's selfish taking care. If I take care of myself, it's not, because if you don't take care of yourself, then who is going to take care of it for you?
Exactly. And by taking care of yourself, you have so much more to pour into others. And that's the piece that people don't understand. And if I'm telling you, I challenge you right now, here, do it for 2 weeks. Okay. I'm not a week. You need to do it for at least 2 weeks. Pour into yourself first in the morning, and you will be blown away at what your mindset feels like, how positive you are about the day, how much happier you are, and how much more you can give the people you love around you. It's crazy. This is why you're hearing about it so much. And there's so many times that you're like, people are like, yeah, you're just trying to sell me something. It's like, no, you don't understand. You can do 10 times more than what you normally would do if you just took time for you first. It's okay. As they say, the oxygen mask comes down on the airplane, put it on you first. You can't help others if you're passed out. You can't help others if you are completely drained and beat up and absolutely just so drained that you have nothing else to give. It really makes a difference.
I have a question for you, Heidi. I know that you're a life coach and you've helped so many people on their journey and with mindset and everything like that. In terms of advice for parents, I feel like a lot of parents, that I've spoken to in the past, even for myself, I can say that as a parent, we tend to focus on helping the children, and we tend to forget about ourselves. What advice would you give to parents in terms of craving the time for self-care for themselves so they can even be able to help their children?
First and foremost, all parents need to remember their children are not their lives. You yourself is your life. Your job as a parent is to guide them, mentor them, and do the best you can with them so that they live a stronger, healthier, happier life than you did. And so they can function and do when they leave your home. Not when they leave your home, you fall apart because you feel so empty. So if you're not pouring into yourself first, the second you hit that empty nester, you're going to fall apart. And this is why a lot of marriages fall apart, right? Because you haven't worked for you two to be a priority. That's why they say dating, going on dates, and all those types of things as adults when you have kids is hyper important. If you're not communicating and keeping that communication open on a daily basis and not being 100% all about the kids and things, yes, it's going to be in there. It's your life at that moment, right? But you have to know that you have to pause and go, okay, we love them with all of our being, but we also need to be us, because what happens when they leave? We want a life after. We want to be able to have a better life. And when they have their kids, we're in an amazing spot to be able to help them with their kids and so on down the line. Plus, you are showing them by example how to help their kids become what they need to be respectful, all the things, and mentor and guide their kids to also be better than them. So each generation is a little bit better instead of covering them up so much and being so close to you that you literally crack and fall apart when they leave. That doesn't do you, them, or anyone around you any good. And that definitely will not keep you in a positive mindset.
You hit it right on the nail. Absolutely. I'm telling you right now, as a single mother with 3 beautiful young children, I'm telling you, if I don't make the time for myself, I got to make the time for myself. Like I said, I learned the hard way. So I love my children with all my heart, but I need at least the 30 minutes to the hour for myself where I can just reflect and just get back to my thoughts and everything like that. So thank you for sharing that.
Absolutely, because especially as a single parent, it's even harder, right? Because you have to be all things. And again, like you just said, 30 minutes to a half hour, is it going to be absolutely detrimental if you take 30 minutes or half an hour to yourself every day for them? No, you're doing yourself a favor so you can be a better mentor and guide for them. And they can see how they need to do it for them as well, especially if you're a single parent and single mom. And if you happen to have a girl, you're trying to show them the right way, not being all frantic and freak out and going, I can't do this. I can't do this. And hearing them constantly, having them hear you constantly complain about how hard everything is and all the things. So when you take that time for you, you're able to hold some of those things in you don't want your children to hear and see. It really gives you that stamina and that power within you to do the right thing for your kids at that time frame. It's game changing. 30 minutes to 1 hour a day will freaking change your life.
I agree. Parents, if you heard that, definitely take that time for yourself and take care of yourself. That self-care is truly, truly important. It increases your mental health, you just your overall well-being. So definitely take that time for yourself. We wear many hats and sometimes, we forget about ourselves, but yes, take out the time for yourself, like Heidi said. Heidi, in your experience, how does having a positive mindset impact one's resilience in overcoming obstacles and setbacks?
I love this question. Here's why. A lot of people say, how can you have a positive mindset if you're constantly dealing with obstacles and setbacks? Well, you can have a positive mindset when you fully understand that life happens for you and not to you. And everyone's like, here's that dang statement again. What the, I used to think that was a stupid statement myself. Okay. I am one of those that's super transparent and everything. Like, listen, this is exactly what I thought then, but I'm telling you the difference now. Okay. What does that really mean? Life happens for you and not to you. When you are going through obstacles and setbacks, if you have a severely negative or fixed mindset, you're going to have a very rough time getting through each thing. And you're not seeing how you are growing. You're not seeing what you need to learn. And you're not doing what you need to do to get to the next level. Your obstacles and your setbacks are setting you up for the next level of amazing that is to come. And when you realize that and really wrap your head around that, when the obstacles and setbacks come, you're like, you know what? This really stinks right now. It really sucks with what I'm going through, but you know what? I got this because I know there's something in here I'm going to learn. I may not recognize it right now because my head's too in it and I'm too in it, but this is going to help me get to where I need to go. There's something in here that's going to either help me get to the next level, or if you're in business and you help others, this is going to help me help somebody else through this same thing. And this is the meaning about life happens for you and not to you. You're not getting attacked just to get attacked. You're getting these setbacks and things, like I said, so you learn something about yourself. You level up yourself, because we are supposed to grow and constantly be leveling up throughout our life so that we can have the massive amounts of dreams and things that we want. But here's the thing, God has tenfold for you what you can even imagine. So if you take these things and go, I hear you, I see, okay, we're going through this again. I didn't learn something the first time, so I gotta open my eyes and be more aware of what exactly is my pattern, what am I going through, and what is the outcome. If I change the outcome, where could this get me, right? Sometimes we can't see it again, like I said, when we're in it, but that's why coaches like myself and others that are out there really can help peel those layers back and guide you through what it is you're going through, and help you understand what it is within you need to let go of so you can get to the other side and be all in and going after those dreams that you are meant to achieve.
I want to say, I had to learn, I keep saying I learned the hard way. I did, because I did,
We all do.
I did. I'm going to be very honest. I learned the hard way, and, my journey to positive mindset was because, after losing my father to COVID, I really had to really change my mindset to just get through life, because, it was something that was just very, very, very painful, and I had to turn my pain into purpose. And it really not having a positive mindset, applying it can really affect you, you know. So I always talk about having a positive mindset and how it could improve your overall well-being. Heidi, can you speak about a connection between positivity and a mental well-being, and how it can cultivate a positive mindset and how it could contribute to overall happiness?
Absolutely. It goes back to the fact that life is happening for you, not to you, right? You've got to understand that the bad things that are happening to you, this is a part of life. Life was never meant to be easy. And we are going to go, I don't care what level you are at in life, even the top of the top, I like John C. Maxwell, the people that are up there that you know, the big names, Russell Brunson, all the people, they have setbacks too. I had fallen and got the post-concussion syndrome back in 2019. I had a choice. I could curl up and go in a corner and never do anything again, not do a business, not run, have the life that I'm having and just let life go. Everything we do is a choice. That's not who I am. I fight. I make sure I get what I want out of life because life is short and we're here for a reason. You may not know that reason, and that's okay. Don't keep going, well, I don't know what my purpose is. The more you do that, the further your purpose is going to get away from you because you're looking at the wrong thing. You need to look inward. When you look inward, you really can change your mental being and your happiness. When you understand, the rest can fall away. Well, what's that mean? When you start doing the self-care, believing in yourself, and doing you first, and understanding every flipping thing you do in life is a choice, and your choices matter. I don't care how big, how small, and even not making a decision is a choice, just so you know. These things will have an effect on every ounce of your mental well-being. And with the way things are right now, it's kind of crazy out there, right? Do you watch the news? If you do, you need to stop. That's never going to give you a positive mindset. That's only going to make you feel like there's a scarcity mindset and all the problems and weight of the world on your shoulders. Now, I'm not saying you don't need to know what's going on. I have a couple feeds in my Facebook that show me some of the news stuff. So some of the real important stuff shows up on there. Plus, my husband keeps me informed because I am not going to go there. Because I know when I watch the news, I've paid attention to what it does to me, and I'm guaranteed it's going to do the same thing to you. It's going to get you riled up. You're going to get really ticked off. You're going to get frustrated, and it's actually going to bring your mental status down. Guess what? That's what they're trying to do. That's the problem. And if you don't feed into you, you're not going to be able to bring it back up. And having the connection between the positive mindset and your mental well-being, the two go hand in hand. You can't be hurting mentally and have a positive mindset. It's impossible. That's the same thing. Like if you get hurt and somebody stomps on your toe, like say you hurt your finger and somebody, if you have siblings, you completely understand what I'm about to say. And they stomp on your toe or kick you and say, there, now that hurts, your finger doesn't hurt anymore. Okay. You can't hurt in more than one spot. It's the same thing with your mindset. You can't be negative and positive at the same time. So when you shoot for the positive mindset and to change how you talk to yourself, because the other thing is, how are you talking to yourself? I want you just one day, write down every single negative statement that comes to mind. Now ask yourself, would you say that to your kid? Would you say that to your mother? I guarantee the answer is no. Okay. If you won't talk to them that way, you should damn well not be talking to yourself that way. And that is part of the piece that I help with, right? Getting you to understand and giving you the tips of how you can fix that and change how you talk to yourself. Understanding you matter, you are enough, you have everything you need, and you are loved. If it's by God himself only and you don't feel like you're loved by others, let me tell you, that's enough. There's more people out there than you can imagine that needs this hug, needs this wrap, and totally need to understand that you are in control. And before you say, but what about God? Okay, here's the thing. The things you feel in your heart and stuff that's positive, guess what? Who put it there? But it's up to us to take the action to make it happen. If we don't take the action, he's like, okay, guess you didn't want that. Let's find something else. Okay, I'll give you another thing. Are you going to take the action? You don't take the action because you have a negative mindset or fixed mindset and you don't want to grow. He's going to keep trying to put stuff on you. But if you don't take the action, you're never going to change. It's up to you.
Heidi, you said it best. If God loves you, that is enough. You know, that's what I try to tell my children. If God loves you, that is enough. All right. That was very, very insightful information. I hope you're taking notes. So, Heidi, as someone who inspires others to adopt a positive mindset, what advice would you give to someone who is struggling to see the silver lining in a difficult situation or situations?
First and foremost, same statement. Life is happening for you, not to you. Have this going through your head. And I know at first you're going to be angry about it and you're going to be like, that, well, yeah, I heard her, but But guess what? If you're hearing in your head, you're hearing me in your head going over and over in this statement, then you need to talk to somebody and you need to change. Okay. It means you're being drawn to change and it's time. Okay. If you have something drawing to you. But if you're in the struggle, you've got to go, okay, I do want to change. Number one, you have to recognize you want to change and you have to state you want to change. Then you have to go, what can I learn from this? Have I been in this type of situation before? And if I have, what did I do to get through it? Okay. Because a lot of times when we're in the situation, and I trust me, I know how hard this can be when you're in it, you don't want to look at anything else. You don't want to, you just like, you want it all to go away. But it is life changing when you take that anywhere from 2 to 5 minutes to just take a step back and go, does anything that I'm going through right now feel familiar? Is it something I've done before? Is it some similar situation that I've been through? How did I handle it? What did I do? Because guess what? Regardless of how old you are, you've been through stuff because that's just how life is, right? You are resilient. You are a force to be reckoned with as long as you see it. Okay. Everybody's been through stuff. I don't care if say you had the best life on the planet, there's going to be certain things that still are sticking with you. And it's up to you to go, is that going to define me or am I going to choose who I want to be? Because you have the right to choose who you want to be. That's due to free will. And again, we have the power of making things happen, but we have to take the action. And again, that is also part of free will. But to see the silver lining, you have to know you're enough, you are loved, and it is there for you to learn something about you or to learn something to help somebody else. And when you say that every time you're in a struggle and say, okay, either I got to learn something from this or I'm learning this to help somebody. When you even just say that to yourself, it hits different instead of going, oh my God, why does this keep happening to me? Oh God, it's a totally different feel. And each time it's going to get easier and easier to be able to pull yourself out of it. And you're going to shrink that time frame of how long you're stuck in it to just a blip and a snap of the finger to be able to get out of it because your mindset will be set to you. And you're like, this is either going to define me or I'm going to let this go. Which do you choose? It's up to you.
Yes. Absolutely. I always tell people as well too, in life we can't control the things that come to us, but we can control how we handle it. And I love the affirmation. I think it was the affirmation that you just said. I'm gonna ask you, what can you share a personal affirmation that you use during challenging times?
Absolutely. This is one that I have, again, I defined this when I was really young. I was probably anywhere from 7 to 9 years old. Okay. Because again, I have quite the story. I'm going to be fine. I always have, and I always will. Right. That one thing has gotten me through everything, regardless of how hard it was. Okay. And just to give you a blip of information, I've had guns pulled to my head. I nearly been hit by cars. I've had one of the chapters in my books is called More Than 9 Lives. And let me tell you, it's not all in that book. Okay. There's a lot more that I've been through. We all go through things. It's how you let it define you. And having a statement like that and understanding you have the power of choice of everything in your life about who you are. You're not defined by anyone but you and God. You have to say, these are the characteristics that I want in my life. These are the characteristics that I want in my life. And I'm going to This is what I want to be known for. This is what resonates. I hate that word resonates. This is what everybody says it like, what resonates with me? This is what is on my heart, what really sits right with me, that feels right. This is who I want to be. You choose. I only pray that you continue to choose positive things, not the negative things, right? Don't go out and do all the bad stuff. Choose to want to give, choose to want to serve. This is what we're here for. I've always helped people all my entire life. And it wasn't until there were others constantly poking me to, I mean, I've been told to write a book since I was probably about 13 years old, because they're like, you really need to write a book because there ain't nobody's going to believe the crap that you've been through and you still are the way you are. And I'm like, that just, why would anyone want to read the crap that I've been through? I didn't realize, obviously, when you're that young, that those types of stories help others see they're not alone, for one, and two, you can come out on the good side if you have a crappy life.
Wow, absolutely. Wow, Heidi, you've been through a lot and God is truly amazing. Truly amazing. You're nothing but a blessing. To be able to definitely turn your pain into purpose and be able to take what you've been through and go out there and help many of people. To even writing books. For those who don't know, Heidi is an author. And she has written books. And Heidi, I'm not going to go in there and tell all the details about your books, but if you want to go and share whatever you want to share about your books and let people know, this is your time.
Awesome. I actually have two because I had written one initially. I was trying to get away with writing something small because I'm like, again, at that time, didn't have the full belief. I'm like, why is anyone going to want to read this? I'm like, okay, fine, I'll write it. So I sat down, took me about, I don't know, for that one, it was an afternoon maybe to write my ebook, The Power of Choices. And I sent it out to the friends that are poking the snot out of me to get this book written. And they're like, no, that's not enough. We want the full story. We want a big book. I'm like, okay. So I'm like, after a huge vacation in Florida, we came home in January and I was like, okay, it's time to write the book. And I'm like, if I'm supposed to write this book, I will sit down in front of the computer and I will just start writing. If I'm not supposed to write this book, I'm going to sit there and stare at the page and say, now it's not the time. Well, the second I sat down, put up a blank screen, I just started writing and didn't stop. Now, if I had the time to just sit for 3 days, I could have easily gotten the book out in 3 days. It took a little longer than that because I had to fill it in spots where I was able to sit and write. And I already have started on book number 2. For whatever reason, I feel like there's a series of 5 coming. And I don't know if this will be able to be seen or not, but this is the cover of the book. And this is "The time is now, the choice is yours. Are you going to take it?" Now, the thing with this is, and a lot of people, when they saw the cover, like, are you sure you want to do that? That's kind of dark, because it's a woman that's chained with her hands over her head. This book is truly about transformation, and that is exactly what I show people how to do, because on the back it's all light, the bars are pulled aside, she's escaped the basement and the problems she was going through. Okay, you can do that too. And this is what I'm after, is to help others with transformation and really understand and see, whether it's the book, whether it's working with me, whatever it might be. But do know The Power of Choice and this other book, The Time is Now, the Choice is Yours, are 2 completely separate books. I did not take my ebook and then start from there and start the Time is Now. They are 2 completely different books. There's different stories in each one. So to get the full story, you need to read both. The ebook is free, and we will have links for that. And then Ketcha will also have a link for the book to be able to be purchased, because it is on Amazon. And I am also working on a workbook and a podcast and a course to go with the book, because I believe in the power of it so much now that I finally understood why I needed to write the book, to be able to help people through things. And no chat GPT, no AI was used for this. This is 100% me. You will find spelling mistakes. You will find grammar mistakes. It is not a perfect book. It's not supposed to be, right? In transformation in a life, is it perfect? Heck, flipping no. It's not going to be. We're not perfect. Only he was. No one else on the planet's going to be. So you, by diving into books like this, you can really see within somebody else's journey what you have within you that's similar, to see you're not alone. Other people are going through things, and you have the ability to make a change. I mean, also one of the chapters in my book, because it's funny, we were talking about kids earlier, is they are watching, because the way a lot of parents are going right now, they're not paying attention to the fact that those kids are watching and they really do understand what's going on, whether you think they do or not. I don't care if they're only a year old. They're getting that there's a problem. You are the example. And the thing that really bumped me into really stepping up is when I became a stepmom. It wasn't in God's plan for me to have kids. I lost 3 confirmed, but I'm pretty sure I lost 5 children that I was just wasn't in the cards for me. I'm okay with that. You know, it's all good. So no need to feel sorry or nothing. We're good. I knew it was, if I was meant to have it, God would let me. If not, that's okay too. I was on the path, whatever he wanted me to do. And I didn't even realize it at the time that I was trying to make this decision about what I was going to do, adopt, all the things. Do I want a kid? All the things. You need to do what's right for you. But the thing is with the kids, this is huge for me because of the way I grew up with my parents fighting and all the things. When my parents got divorced, my mother was not around. She would leave for 2 to 3 months at a time. I have no idea where she was. I don't remember being there half the time, and I don't know how food got in the house. Somehow we had food. I really don't know how. I got up, I went to school, I did all the things on my own that I normally would do, and I am extremely blessed and grateful that I did, because I wouldn't be where I'm at if I didn't. And one of the questions I get asked very, very frequently anytime anyone hears even this much of my story is, do you regret anything, or would you change anything? Is there anything of it, wouldn't you like that to all go away? And my answer quickly and always will be no. I would not change one flipping second of my life, regardless of how crappy some of the things were and what I went through, because I wouldn't be who I am today. I wouldn't be here helping others, and I wouldn't have the tools to help others. I went through what I went through so I could be here for you. And when you realize that, it kind of makes everything not sting so much. It makes it so that you can accept everything a little bit easier. And you're like, okay, I know that was for a reason. And like when I'm talking about my life, it's like I'm talking about somebody else's. It's like a story over here, because I'm like, well, that was like a whole lifetime ago compared to where I am now. Because for me, at this point, I try to be every single day a step ahead of where I was yesterday. And more importantly, I really actually do push to try to be better every half day, 8 hours better than I was before, by re-looking at what I'm doing. Okay, am I doing what I'm supposed to do? Are you doing the things for business? Are you doing this? Are you doing that? And there's a lot of people out there that are gonna be like, that's a lot of work, life's work. So you're using the same energy either way. So are you going to sit back and just go with the flow, or are you going to make life what it should be for you? It's up to you. And the time is now. Are you going to take it?
Heidi, you mentioned a very, very important thing that I feel like a lot of parents fail to realize in terms of when it comes to kids. And the only reason why I'm saying this is because I experienced it for my own self. And at the time, they, as a parent, they don't really equip you for life, the things that are going to happen in life. And when I lost my father, I'm raising the 3 young children. It was my father that I lost. I did not realize the impact that it had on my children. And as parents, I don't think that, well, at least I don't really hear most people talk about this situation, about how you got to pick up yourself as your own, as a parent, and then you got to pick up your children. And while you're going through your own storms and darkness because of the loss, the children are going through it, and you got to be you kind of got to be strong to help them. So Heidi, what advice would you give to parents that are going through similar things like this, especially since COVID? A lot of people lost their loved ones, someone, a close friend or something like that, and the kids are suffering. What advice would you give to parents to be able to help them cope as a parent and then help their children?
Again, that comes back to the self-care. You've got to give yourself time to grieve, but you have to do it mostly away from the kids. And I say mostly, not 100%, because the kids also need to see you grieve because they need to know it's okay, right? It's the whole setting the example, the monkey see, monkey do. If you hold it all in and you just try to support them, they think when they get older that when things go bad, they have to do the same and hold it all in. And we know that that's not okay. You have to release. And by having those crying sessions or having communication sessions with your kids on what you are going through, of course, depending on their age, is you've got to communicate them with them at a certain level and not let them into 100% of adult stuff, of course, but letting them in that way really does something special for the bond for you and them together, right? Not to mention setting them up to have the tools they need when they are out on their own. Say they're 18, 19 years old, they're in school, something bad happens, a friend dies. How are they going to handle that? Especially if they're across the country and at a school, right? You've already helped them through something. So it's going to be monumentally easier in a sense, right? It's not going to feel easy. Don't get it twisted. It will not feel easy when they're going through it. And it's going to be hard for you or whoever that, the parent to be that far away. But again, we have video, we have the things that you can have a talk with, and there's always plans for you to go out and see them. You just have to be there for them, but understand you need to have somebody for you as well. And that's okay. Don't let them see it all, but make sure they're part of your mourning as well so they can see that it's okay. Allowing them to see some of the bad is okay because they need to be okay with it. I have allowed my stepson to come with me to funerals of people he didn't know because he's never been to them. He's 17 now. Had I not taken him to, I think it's two now, two or three, to those people, by the time he got to a point where somebody did pass that he went to a funeral for that he cared about, he would, I can't even imagine where his mental capacity would be. So I was like, okay, we need to take him to these funerals so that he knows how it works, how it's done. So when things get close, because my father unfortunately isn't, he's 81 now, he's not getting any younger, and I know those two are kind of close. So if something was to happen to him, I know it's going to affect him greatly, but he now knows the steps of how this works. So it's not a shock. Doesn't add to the anxiety. It doesn't add to the issues of what's going to happen now that he's passed and what is this funeral thing? What is this? What is this? What is this? He has the permission to know what is going on and seeing others grieve, to know what it's like and understand that it's okay. Knowing it's okay from your parent is monumental. Instead of going, you need to just suck it up, buttercup, put on your big girl panties or whatever. And you can't do that. There's times for that, yes. But for those types of really monumental things, you have to allow them in so they see you grieving and then say, okay, you got to get with another parent, with another person so that you have your strength and your backbone. And then you can be that for your kids.
Thank you so much for sharing. Because as I said, I had to learn to deal with that, and I just feel like it's not talked about as much as parents. So thank you so much for sharing that advice, Heidi. All right. Well, is there any last advice that you want to share about a positive mindset? Because do you feel like just because somebody has a positive mindset, they're all set, or is there anything else they have to do?
Well, you can have all the positive mindset you want, but if you're not taking action on something you want to go after, it's not going to do you a darn bit of good. And that's, I'm a three, I don't even know what you would call it. There's three things that I really have, that I work on that to me really, really go hand in hand. And that is accountability, mindset, and action. You need the mindset to understand what you need to change within yourself so that you can get to where you want to go. You need the accountability to kick you in the pants and give you that little nudge so that you keep pushing from somebody that believes in you, that can see your potential, and that truly believes in you. And then you need to take those steps. Without the steps, nothing happens. You have to take those steps. Now, tiny steps get you to massive things. And that's another thing that I teach and another thing I help people with, because when you start taking those tiny steps and you really get into the flow of being in the positive mindset, understanding about the setbacks and all the things, they do actually call it a flow. And when you hit that, that's when you start quantum leaping. And that's a whole nother talk for another day. But quantum leaping is where it's at. Quantum leaping is where you want to go. And the only way you can quantum leap is if you get this somebody that can help you where you currently are and get you through that. So you shorten your time frame up. So instead of taking you 5 years, that could, maybe it took me, I don't even know how long, many years. Well, I'm going to be 52 this year. So there's that. So I have many years of experience, plus all the things that I've went through with family, with boyfriends, with other things. I've even been stalked before. It's nuts. But because of all of that, I can help others through that. I understand where they're coming from. So when you understand that and you put in that you believe in yourself, you know you're enough and you have what it takes, because God only gives you what you need, everything you need. You start taking those steps. And when you take those steps, you understand that you have everything you need so you can make those dreams, hopes, and all the things come true, so that those that are watching you, your kiddos, can see they can do it too.
As I mentioned before, Heidi is not your typical coach. Heidi, where can people find your services and what services do you offer?
Well, I have a few different ones, plus I offer some a la carte things, but we'll go with the main ones. I have a group coaching program, Doubt to Driven, your 90-day shift. I have a one-on-one 3-month program. I also have a one-on-one 6-month program, because some people come to me with things that they don't want to talk about in a group, and that's okay. Basically, I'm coming up with different ways that I can communicate with people and help them along the way. I also offer like one-off sessions for an hour and a half if you need help setting and understanding reaching your goals, because I have a course that I'm just finishing up as to how to see goals and set them differently. And as you can hear, I dive into things that people don't want to talk about. I'm diving in under where you need to actually hit first before you can start writing out those goals. Because if it's just surface level, guess what, sweetie? You ain't going to get them. You need to dive in and you need to have them attached to you and have it completely something you want, or you will not get out of bed to do it. And as you see, I lead with passion. I am 100% about making sure that you get what you need so that you can succeed. Because I believe in you. You've got this. You can make it happen. You can find me online at HeidiMeckley.com. And I'm also on Facebook as Heidi Meckley. And also I have a Facebook group. All of this will be shared. Action Takers Inner Circle, because I am all about taking the action. I have had all my life people call me Superwoman, because they're like, how are you doing what you do? And I'm like, because I choose to. And when you start doing that, your life will change. And I am happy to help in any way I can.
So I will leave all that information in the description below of how to contact Heidi and her services. Heidi, I just have one more question for you. What message do you hope that readers will take from reading your book?
If they too can make a transformation in their life, regardless of where you are, how bad it may seem, you can make a change. You can do this. I don't claim that my life is the worst life out there and that I've been through the absolute worst things. No, there are people who have had it much worse than me. I know that. And and there's other powerful speakers out there because of that, because of the stuff that they've been through. I want transformation for you. I have amazing testimonials from people who have I've had them from even speaking to me once. I have testimonies from people speaking with me once, and the change that they felt because of being an empath. I can feel what's going on within you, help ask the questions that you really need to be asked to peel back those layers so you can live your best life. You can go after what you need and you can transform, but you've got to want it and you've got to choose it. And if you choose it, we can make it happen. Let's go.
Well, thank you, Heidi, so much for your time. I truly, truly, truly appreciate you for hopping on and sharing some powerful, powerful insight today on adopting a positive mindset. And I am just looking forward to seeing people's transformation.
Thank you so much, Ketcha, for having me. I greatly appreciate it. And for all those that are watching, thank you so much. If you have watched to this part, you need to click the links below. Let's get connected. Let's find out how I can help. And if it's not me, I have a plethora of other people. If we don't connect, I have a way. All I want is for you to get the best of what you need, whether it's me or somebody else. So bring it, hit me up, and let's figure it out.
Heidi Meckley's insights have shed light on the immense value of embracing positivity in our lives, reminding us that even in the darkest of times, there is always a glimmer of hope waiting to be discovered. As we conclude today's episode, let's remember that cultivating a positive mindset isn't just about seeing the glass as half full. It's about embracing a perspective that empowers us to navigate life's challenges with grace and resilience. Let Heidi Meckley's journey serve as a beacon of inspiration, guiding us towards a brighter, more optimistic future. Thank you, Glowin fam, for staying to the end of this video. If you found this video inspiring and you're looking for more of a personal transformation, don't forget to comment, like, and to subscribe for more inspiring content. I will see you in the next video.
Keep on glowing forever.